Hello everyone, welcome back to RCH Builders. So it has been quite a while since I have been able to make it down here to this property. Well, I mean, I've technically come down here twice, dropping off material, mowing the yard, just basically a little stuff like that, not actually doing any major work. We are getting ready to actually finally jack this roof up and brace it. So I picked up a welder, picked up some more of the jacks that I use and plates, and welded a whole new set of jacks. I've got these ones that I had left here. I don't know if they're any good. Where they were here for so long, they may have blown the gaskets. We'll see if they jack up or not. If not, no big deal. I made 5 more, and 5 should definitely do. I couldn't do this with just the 2. That was the issue that I had the last time. I couldn't move them around enough. And I also didn't have enough blocks and 4x4s to be able to jack the roof up as much as I needed to. So we've got more 4x4s. I've got 6x6s. Here they are. This is where my 6x6s, I put those to lay across to span multiple joists. And we've got a bunch of 2x6s for bracing. So we should be good to go. Gonna go ahead and get started with jacking it up. I might see if these will jack up at all, at least just a little bit here, but otherwise I'm going to get ready and jack up from the far end this way. As I mentioned in previous ones, I've got these collar ties up here with lag bolts that go all the way through. You can see one there and one there. It's just one extremely large lag bolt that is loose so that it can pivot while we jack this up. When it's all jacked up and done, then we will be nailing off those collar ties, quite possibly adding another one even on top of that, and tightening down those bolts. So, but anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started with it, get our tools out, get set up, and then move forward. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is create some more of these 6x6s to go underneath the jacks. Got our joist right here, I have it marked. So if I cut them 36 inches, it'll span across 2 joists and have a little extra. And while I'm doing this, my father's just going through and toe-nailing all of the ceiling joists down into the top plate. The top plate, it was already previously nailed upward into them, but toe-nailing them down into it will just help make sure it stays there. You might need to check it, because I think I might have been doing roofing last. All right, so we've got the first, probably the first two rafters are a hair above where they need to be. So we're gonna go ahead and add in our bracing back to the wall, and then we can release that jack, and it should come down just a little bit and be really close. We're only maybe between 1/4 and 3/8 of an inch high. So even if it stays there, it's still way better than it seems like probably close to 6 or 10-inch sag that is in the middle of this roof. So we're at least getting closer to it. Like I say, I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna put in the next jack. We're gonna just continue across here and hopefully get at least most of this knocked out today. All right, so this is actually going pretty good up here right now. It is nice and hot up here, but other than that, I've got all of these across here. This one is not nailed in yet, so it's been doing pretty well. As we come across, we've been jacking it up until this, all these are pre-cut the same length and in a nice straight line across there. So we know when we've jacked it up enough for the bottom leg to go in. I've basically just toe-nailed the top on the top side here, and that allows it to hold in place on the top and lets me know that whenever the bottom swings in fully to where the back side seats right at the back of the wall, you can see right there, that when it does that, then I know that we are good and level across here, which has been working out really well. It's all looking nice and level and straight. We've definitely picked this up a lot. And then we set some jacks up on the front side to start with the front, but with the way things are going, I need more jacks over there. So we're just going ahead and we're going to finish up. I'm going to move the camera over that side and continue down through here. But basically, for the most part, I've been just staying up here, as you can see, and my father's been down there. I have been watching each one of these posts and this, telling him to jack up, give one 5, give another one 10 pumps, you know, so on and so forth as we come across. And it's definitely been going good. We are making a lot of progress. We are over halfway. Halfway is pretty much where this missing ceiling joist, where like a hallway used to be, where they divided the two sides of the house essentially. But so we've made it over halfway, and the rest of this side should be much easier to do, because the closer we get to the end, the less we have to jack them up anyway. Just like over there, that very first one, we jacked it up maybe 3/4 of an inch, but down here we're jacking this side of the roof in the middle. We probably jacked it up a good, I would estimate 4, 5, possibly even 6 inches. But anyways, that's gonna just move the camera over there and continue on down through here. We have I think 5 more. So we got 5 more to do here, and then we can get started on the front. I'll also show you while I'm talking here what I've been doing with the top. So we have a 2x6 mending plate that we're using for the top. That's just because nailing into this, some people they'll do a top plate across here and they'll nail it. It's just not as secure as using a mending plate. And I've been using, just so that I'm not knocking this around while I'm getting the brackets in place, I'm using 5 strong tie screws. You want to make sure you use strong tie, the size that they're requiring. I'm using 5 strong tie screws into here, 5 strong tie screws into this, but I'm not nailing this or screwing this side until we get the bottom swung in place. And then I come back and I'll fill the other 5 holes on the top and the bottom with nails, strong tie nails. So it's all strong tie approved specialty for this. And then the bottoms we are nailing and toe nailing in with this, because we're not, like here we're butting into it, so you can really only get a good 1 toenail on either side. That's not enough. But down here, because we're up against the side of a plate, or even down in, we can toenail and nail quite a few. I mean, I put probably 12 nails in this one here. It's definitely not going anywhere. But anyways, I'm gonna get started on the rest of it. We've now got this side completely braced and in place. For right now, we temporarily have these 2 4x4s in the middle of the living room to help hold up the front roof from dropping right there. It shouldn't drop, but it is being supported only by this wall, and those ceiling joists are running, I think, close to 16 feet, and they're only 2x6s. So that's not really the proper support for this roof at all. We're going to be remedying that, of course, when we get to that step. But for now, for today, this is going to be it. It has been, it's been, I've actually been here longer than I have most other days. We've stayed here as long as we could to get that ready and to get this braced up enough to where we're good with it, and it should be good while it waits for us to get back down here. So one of the things that I did is we jacked it up fully and then put jacks in between these two posts. And then we put jacks underneath these posts that are not extended at all. They are the 4x4s are sitting straight on them without being extended. That way we don't have to worry about the hydraulics releasing slowly over the coming days until we get back here. But hopefully that'll be very soon anyways, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. But again, just trying to get them up there. So they're basically in place. They are on jacks. They're just not extended. That way, hopefully, whenever we come back, we don't have to try and reset up jacks and take these out. We can simply jack these up and be ready to go. But the front is actually not too bad. After jacking this up, it looks like behind me, the first three right here are all in line with the back side. Then we'll have to jack it up from there across, pretty much from this one to the one, really, I think just before this hole. And then the next three are actually sitting good right on top of this one right now. And then we'll have to jack up the rest of them going that way. But I'll be showing you when we get to it how we're going to fix this where these are being not supported correctly. And at the same time, we're going to be able to fix these ceiling joists spanning way too far across there. I'm just going to go outside real quick and we're going to take a look at the back side and see what this looks like now. Where these jacks had deflated previously, this was basically at stage one where I started the last video on this house. The front was back out the same distance. The roof had sagged the same right where it was previously. But I kind of expected that because I didn't have, when I started doing it, I found out I didn't have enough jacks and I was not expecting it to stay where it was, especially over the length of time. But that is why I made 5 more jacks, and the old jacks worked perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with them. They just, over the extent of them, they relieved pressure so that they would not get damaged. So the seals were good. We were able to use them. So now I have 7 of these jacks that I use for doing this kind of stuff. Don't try and do this stuff on your own, for sure. Especially, I mean, make sure you hire a professional, someone who does this kind of stuff for a living. This is what I do for a living. And it is dangerous. There's a lot of math involved in making sure you do this without bad things happening, like the roof falling on your head and stuff like that. I mean, people can die doing this. But, you know, you got to use as many precautions as you can, and we've done it perfectly fine, nice and easy. So anyways, that's going to be it. I'm just going to go take a look outside. All right, so here's one of the first things that was remedied with doing that. You'll see along the front here, there used to be a big gap. You can see a very slight bit right here, and that's actually because that beam is going like this right there, the trim. But you can see that where there was about 4 inches gap there, where you could see fresh, not painted wood, and now it is closed only in that short section, and you can see exactly where that molding is kind of sunk in. Where that molding is sunk in right there. I'm having trouble seeing my camera because of the sun. So I'm trying to get it where you can see that it cuts in, you know, maybe about 1/2 inch at the deepest point, but that is definitely not bad. That's easy to remedy from out here now. So coming across the front, and so basically what that was doing, that was creating a nice big hump. I'm gonna zoom back out. That was creating a nice big hump where basically it was going like this right here, and now that's nice and straight across there like it should be. So that's the first thing, and then the other is our nice big sad, well, actually, I guess you would call it a happy house. Because where the middle sagged downward, extremely bad right here. So that middle of this roof was sagging down a good 6 to 8 inches. So it was a big, I guess you'd say, smiley face. But so now this is done. Like I say, we can now tar paper the backside. The backside is now good. This is actually right here. I'm standing next to the blackberry tree that used to be here, and one of the storms, it wasn't Helene when Hurricane Helene came through, because when Helene came through, this was still standing. But apparently some other storm after that knocked over another tree that was back here behind the fence that hit this and just ripped it out the ground. Took it, knocked it over. It was touching the corner of the house. That's why you could see some little branches up there when I was showing the roof. There's still just a few little branches left up there. But we cut that all off, hauled it off. Me and my wife did that when we came out here one time. We basically just came out to mow the lawn and had to cut up a tree too. I've left it long, like you saw in the video right there. I usually will do that because if you leave them long, it gives you leverage. Whether I bring out a backhoe or you bring a truck back here, there's enough room around the side. I could bring a truck back here, probably hook a chain up to it, and maybe pull this out. If we cut it off flush with the ground, you can't do that. But anyways, as far as this video goes, that's going to be it. Hope you enjoyed watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you the next time.